Good evening, everyone. Now it's time for us to take our lessons together. Take the lessons of on greed. First of all, let's go for the last lesson. Shall we? Even if they are reborn in the heavenly realm or the realm of human beings, then they go the sufferings of poverty and want, the sufferings of parting from loved ones, the pain and the sufferings of encountering those they hate and detest. They undergo all these many different kinds of pains and sufferings. Yet living beings draw in the midst of all this, delight and amuse themselves unwell and knowing without alarm or fear. They feel no sense of loathing and make no attempt to escape. In this burning house, which is the threefold world, there is about to east and west. And though they encounter great pains and sufferings, they are not distressed by it. The Buddha said again, there is no safety in the threefold world. It is like a burning house replete with a multitude of sufferings, truly to be filled, constantly beset with the griefs and the pains of birth, old age and decay, sickness and death, which are like fires raging fiercely and without cease. It is said in the three periods of missing that all sufferings arise from greedy desire, but one doesn't know where the greedy desire arises from, because one forgets his own self-nature. Amitabha Buddha, he's always the devil with different thoughts galloping. Now we are going to listen to today's new contents. Now please listen to the teacher attentively, okay? Let's pre-read it first of all.
These 28 words describe the sufferings of all beings in the 6 paths and the root of sufferings. All the sufferings can be described as the 8 sufferings, the sufferings of the 3 evil paths, and even all the worldly sufferings. Where do they come from? They come from greed, which means one gives rising to greed for sights, sounds, smells, tastes, objects of touch, or wealth, beauty, fame, food, sleep, fame and fortune, and so on, being greedy and insatiable. Because of greed, there is hatred, ignorance, arrogance, suspicion, jealousness, anger, mind of falling down, scattered mind and other infinite afflictions of confusions of thinking, branch afflictions, and afflictions like dust and sands, and because of greed, bad karma is created, and because of karma, one suffers suffering retribution, and the 6 great divisions in the wheel of karma are thus manifested, and all sufferings are revealed with them. There are no such things originally, but they are created animatedly by living beings out of greed, and they are all sick illusions due to the staring in the bodhi minds of living beings.
Once again,
these 28 words describe the sufferings of all beings in the 6 paths and the root of sufferings. All the sufferings can be described as the 8 sufferings, the sufferings of the 3 evil paths, and even all the worldly sufferings. Where do they come from? They come from greed, which means one gives rising to greed for sights, sounds, smells, tastes, objects of touch, or wealth, beauty, fame, food, sleep, fame and fortune, and so on, being greedy and insatiable. Because of greed, there is hatred, ignorance, arrogance, suspicion, jealousness, anger, mind of falling down, scattered mind and other infinite afflictions of confusions of thinking, branch afflictions, and afflictions like dust and sands, and because of greed, bad karma is created, and because of karma, one suffers suffering retribution, and the 6 great divisions in the wheel of karma are thus manifested, and all sufferings are revealed with them. There are no such things originally, but they are created animatedly by living beings out of greed, and they are all sick illusions due to the staring in the bodhi minds of living beings.
Okay, now let's look at them in detail. Okay. These 28 words describe the sufferings of all beings in the 6 paths and the root of sufferings. The root of sufferings means the source of sufferings. Describe. What does describe mean? Describe means represent or figure. Describe means represent or figure. All the sufferings can be described. As the 8 sufferings. The 8 sufferings, or the sufferings of the 3 evil paths. The sufferings of the 3 evil paths. What are the 3 evil paths? Do you know? What are the 3 evil paths? They are hares, hungry ghosts, and beasts, and even all the worldly sufferings, Where do they come from? Where are they from? They come from greed. Which means one gives rise to greed for sights, sounds, smells, tastes, objects of touch, or wares, or greed for wares, beauty, fame, food, sleep. Wares means money. Do you think so? Or wares, beauty, fame, food, sleep. Or greed for, or gives rise to greed for fame and fortune, and so on. Being greedy and insatiable. What does it mean? Insatiable. It means saiteless, or avaricious, or means very, very greedy, Insatiable means so greedy. Let's go ahead. Because of greed, there will be hatred, ignorance, arrogance, doubt or suspicion. Doubt means suspicion. Here I add 2 words, doubt or suspicion. Jealousness is a noun. The root of the word is jailers. anger, mind of falling down, mind of falling down. Scattered mind, and other infinite afflictions of confusions of thinking, and other infinite afflictions. If afflictions means vexations of confusions of thinking, branch afflictions. It means branch and leaf afflictions, and afflictions like dust and sands, and afflictions like dust and sands. It means small and small afflictions, like dust and sands. And because of great bad karma is created, and because of great bad karma is created, it means bad karma is made. And because of karma, one suffers suffering retribution. Suffering retribution means retribution of the suffering. And the 6 great divisions in the wheel of karma are thus manifested. The 6 great divisions, it means the 6 great paths, the 6 great paths. In the wheel of karma, the 6 great divisions in the wheel of karma are thus manifested, are thus showed, are thus displayed, and all sufferings are refilled with them, Refilled here means are manifested, refilled means are manifested with them. There are no such things originally. But they are created animatedly by living beings out of greed. Out of greed means because of greed, due to greed. But they are created animatedly by living beings out of greed. Animatedly means vigorously, and they are all sick illusions due to the stirring in the body minds of living beings. Sick illusions means ear illusions due to the stirring in the body minds of living beings. Okay, now please listen to the teacher once again, okay?
These 28 words describe the sufferings of all beings in the 6 paths and the root of sufferings. All the sufferings can be described as the 8 sufferings, the sufferings of the 3 evil paths and even all the worldly sufferings. Where do they come from? They come from greed, which means one gives rising to greed for sights, sounds, smells, tastes, objects of touch, or wealth, beauty, fame, food, sleep, fame and fortune, and so on, being greedy and insatiable. Because of greed, there is hatred, ignorance, arrogance, suspicion, jealousness, anger, mind of falling down, scattered mind and other infinite afflictions of confusions of thinking, branch afflictions, and afflictions like dust and sands, and because of greed, bad karma is created, and because of karma, one suffers suffering retribution, and the 6 great divisions in the wheel of karma are thus manifested, and all sufferings are revealed with them. There are no such things originally, but they are created animatedly by living beings out of greed, and they are all sick illusions due to the staring in the bodhi minds of living beings.
Once again, once more.
These 28 words describe the sufferings of all beings in the 6 paths and the root of sufferings. All the sufferings can be described as the 8 sufferings, the sufferings of the 3 evil paths and even all the worldly sufferings. Where do they come from? They come from greed, which means one gives rising to greed for sights, sounds, smells, tastes, objects of touch, or wealth, beauty, fame, food, sleep, fame and fortune, and so on, being greedy and insatiable. Because of greed, there is hatred,
这里的 give rise to 原文有些失误，大家改过来啊。give is rise to， 今天我查出来了。Okay, please correct it. Please correct it by yourselves. Let's go on.
Ignorance, arrogance, suspicion, jealousness, anger, mind of falling down, scattered mind and other infinite afflictions of confusions of thinking, branch afflictions, and afflictions like dust and sands, and because of greed, bad karma is created, and because of karma, one suffers suffering retribution, and the 6 great divisions in the wheel of karma are thus manifested, and all sufferings are revealed with them. There are no such things originally, but they are created animatedly by living beings out of greed, and they are all sick illusions due to the staring in the bodhi minds of living beings.
Okay, now it's time for us to practice reading them one by one. Okay? These 28 words describe the sufferings of all beings in the 6 paths, or in the 6 ways, and the root of suffering. All the sufferings can be described as the 8 sufferings, the sufferings of the 3 evil paths, and even all the worldly sufferings. Where do they come from? They come from greed, which means one gives rise to greed for sights, sound, smell, tastes, objects of touch, or wealth, beauty, fame, food, sleep, fame, and fortune, and so on. Being greedy and insatiable give rise to, what does it mean? What does give rise to? Do you know? Gives rise to, it means produces, or generous, greed for sight, sound, smell, taste, objects of touch. Do you think so? Yes, produces lotus, or generate. Yes, or generate. I don't think come into being is the answer. Why? Because it is VI. Because it is VI. But give it right to is VT. Is VT. Can you agree with me? Okay, now it's time for you to practice reading them. Are you ready? Are you ready? Airport, please.
Good evening, Mr. Wang. Good evening, everybody. These 28 words describe the sufferings of all living beings in the 6 paths and the root of sufferings. All the sufferings can be described as the 8 sufferings. All the worldly sufferings. Where do they come from? They come from greed, which means one gives rise to greed for sight, sounds, smells, tastes, objects of touch, or wealth, beauty, fame, food, sleep, fame, fortune, and so on. Being greedy and insatiable. Thank you.
Fortune. Yes, fortune. Okay. Lotus, please. Go on, please.
Okay. Good evening, Mr. Wang and everybody. These 28 words describe the sufferings of all beings in the 6 paths and the root of sufferings. All the sufferings can be described as the 8 sufferings. The sufferings of the 3 evil paths and even all the worldly sufferings. Where do they come from? They come from greed, which means one gives rise to greed for sights, sounds, smells, tastes, objects of touch, or wealth, beauty, fame, food, sleep, fame and fortune, and so on, being greedy and insatiable. Thank you.
Fantastic. Perfect. Now let's go on. Because of greed, there is hatred, ignorance, arrogance, doubt or suspicion, jealousness, anger, mind of falling down, scattered mind, and other infinite afflictions of confusions of thinking, branch afflictions, and afflictions like dust and sands. And because of greed, bad karma is created. Bad karma is created. And because of karma, one suffers suffering retribution. And the 6 great divisions in the wheel of karma are thus manifested. And all sufferings are refilled with them. There are no such things originally. There are no such things originally. It means at first. But they are created animatedly by living beings out of greed, and they are all seek illusions due to the stirring in the body minds of living beings. Okay, now it's your turn. Airport, please.
Because of greed, there is hatred, ignorance, arrogance, doubt, or suspicion, jealousness, anger, mind of feeling down, scattered mind, and other infinite afflictions of confusions of thinking, branch afflictions and afflictions like dust and sounds. And because of greed, bad karma is created. And because of karma, one suffers suffering retribution. And the 6 great divisions in the wheel are thus manifested. And all sufferings are veiled with them. There are no such things originally, but they are created animatedly by living beings out of greed, and they are all sick illusions due to the stirring in the body minds of living beings. Thank you.
Please read it again. I beg your pardon. Sorry, I beg your pardon.
Animatedly.
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 Animatedly. Animatedly.
Yes, they are created animatedly by living beings out of greed. 注意重音的把握，注意重音的把握。Okay, letters, please.
Okay. Because of greed, there is hatred, ignorance, arrogance, doubt, or suspicion, jealousness, anger, mind of falling down, scattered mind, and other infinite afflictions or confusions of thinking, branch afflictions, and afflictions like dust and sand. And because of greed, bad karma is created. And because of karma, one suffers suffering retribution, and the 6 greater divisions in the wheel of karma are thus manifested, and all sufferings are revealed with them. There are no such things originally, but they are created animatedly by living beings out of greed, and they are all sick illusions due to the starring in the body minds of living beings. Thank you.
Starring. Yes. S-T-A-R-E 就是它的原型 staring.
Okay,
这
thank
一切
you.
无非都是众生的菩提心中的瞪发劳相哦。Staring, yes, staring. 好，再一个请教一下，这里刚刚读的，大家都注意了。刚刚读的哪一个？好，这里有个短语，那么是什么意思呢？Branch afflictions. Please put it in Chinese. Branch afflictions. 随烦恼，随烦恼以前班尼老师讲的是枝叶烦恼，这一次我请教我说如何翻译随烦恼，班尼老师说叫分支烦恼，所以翻译为 branch affliction， 它叫分支烦恼。我们说贪嗔痴慢疑那5大烦恼称为什么样呢？主干烦恼，主干它叫主干烦恼，这个叫随烦恼。也叫分支烦恼。主干有哪个词？主干，主干烦恼。主干
main
查到了吗？主干
major
main
yes
main afflictions 那个it is right 主干，因为这个主干跟这个分支连起来，主干 main or trunk yes trunk， 当时我想到的是 trunk 主干 trunk afflictions or main afflictions Now, I want to review the past lessons, the past few lessons from the beginning. Okay? First of all, I'm going to read it. I'm going to read it. Then it's your turn. Okay. Answer writing of Buddha's practice incorporated. Issue 1 on greed. Table of contents. Chapter 1. What is greed? Chapter 2. The effects, hazards, and the sufferings of greed. Chapter 3. How to subdue greed. What is greed? Chapter 1. What is greed? We know that there are many kinds of and categories of the afflictions of greed in the world of living beings, which are also wide, large, and deep in kinds, categories, and amount, including greed for food, drink, play, and amusement, greed for wealth, beauty, fame, food, and sleep, greed for fame, glory, and fortune, greed for object, sound, scent, taste, and objects of touch. And for them, as long as one pulls one hair, the whole body is affected. They are vertical and horizontal, intricate and complex, and they are four-dimensional. They are a four-dimensional net, and the hazards and the sufferings they bring to all beings are innumerable. Innumerable means boundless or endless, and so are. Yes. Okay. Airport, please.
Essay writing of Buddha's practice incorporated. Issue 1 on greed. Table of contents. Chapter 1. What is greed? Chapter 2. The effects, hazards, and the sufferings of greed. Chapter 3. How to subdue greed. Chapter 1. What is greed? We know that there are many kinds and categories of the afflictions of greed in the world of living beings, which are also wide, large, and deep in kinds, categories, and amount, including greed for food, drink, play, and amusement, greed for wealth, beauty, fame, food, and sleep, greed for fame, glory, and fortune, greed for objects, sound, scent, taste, and objects of touch, and for them, as long as one pulls one hair, the whole body is affected. They are vertical and horizontal, intricate and complex, and they are four-dimensional. Next page, please. Net, and the hazards and the sufferings they bring to all beings are innumerable. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Now let's go on. Therefore, in the third chapter of the parable of the Lotus Sutra, the Buddha said, he sees living beings sealed and consumed by birth, old age, and decay, sickness and death, care and suffering, sees them undergo many kinds of pains and sufferings because of their greed and attachment. and striving. They undergo numerous pains and sufferings in their present existence. And later, they undergo the pains and the sufferings of being reborn in hells or as beasts or hungry ghosts. Hells or as beasts or hungry ghosts. Lotus, please.
Okay. Therefore, in the third chapter of Parable of the Lotus Sutra, the Buddha said, he sees living beings seared and consumed by birth, old age and decay, sickness and death, care and suffering, sees them may undergo many kinds of pains and sufferings because of their greed and attachment and striving. They undergo numerous pains and sufferings in their present existence, and later they undergo the pains and sufferings of being reborn in hells or as beasts or hungry ghosts. Thank you.
Perfect, thank you. Care. 好，请问一下，这里的 care 什么意思？还记得吗？这里 care 是小心吗？这里 care 是什么呢？
不是，这里讲生老病死。
生老病死 care 是什么意思呢？
执着。
忧患、忧悲、苦恼、忧悲、苦恼，它表示忧愁 care， 担忧、忧愁的意思啊 care。这里是担忧、忧愁 care means worry. Care here means worry. 忧悲苦恼 care and sufferings. Okay, let's go on. Even if they are reborn in the heavenly realm or the realm of human beings, they undergo the sufferings of poverty and want, the sufferings of parting from loved ones, the pains and the sufferings of encountering those they hate and detest. They undergo all these many different kinds of pains and sufferings. Yet living beings, drowned in the midst of all this, delight and amuse themselves, unaware, unknowing, without alarm or fear. They feel no sense of loathing and make attempt to escape. In this burning house, which is the threefold world, there is about to east and west. And though they encounter great pains and sufferings, they are not distressed by it. Airport, please.
Even if they are reborn in the heavenly realm or the realm of human beings, they undergo the sufferings of poverty and want, the sufferings of parting from loved ones, the pains and the sufferings of encountering those they hate and detest. They undergo all these many different kinds of pains and sufferings. Yet living beings drowned in the midst of all this, delight and amuse themselves, unaware, unknowing, and without alarm or fear. They feel no sense of loathing and make no attempt to escape. In this burning house, which is the threefold world, they race about to east and west. And though they encounter great pains and sufferings, they are not distressed by it.
Perfect. 好，请翻译一个短语。这里有八苦当中的一苦 ，the suffering of parting from loved ones。好，如何翻译？哪一苦啊？还记得吗 ？The suffering of parting from loved ones。Do you know？
爱别。
Yes， 爱别离苦，爱别离苦。The sufferings of parting from loved ones. Loved ones. Loved ones 是一个重要短语，相爱的心爱的人，亲人。The sufferings of parting from loved ones. Okay, that's all for tonight. Thank you so much indeed for your supporting and cooperation. See you next time. Now I put down my mic.